Hello students, and welcome to our second video. I'm calling it part 2 on percents. And for this video, I'm just continuing on practicing problems that have to do with percentages, and I've picked some problems out of our packet to work on. So let's get right to it. So I'm grabbing our packet, and first problem is right here. And let me actually get a piece of paper to cover this other problem up so we don't confuse it. Okay, so let's take a look. This says there are 1,500 students in a school. 65% of those students are girls. How many girls are in the school? Okay, sounds pretty manageable. So how do we start? Do you remember? We start by setting up our 4 boxes. So let me draw those in. So we're going to have 1 box, 2 boxes, sound like Dr. Seuss, 3 boxes, 4. Okay. In the lower right-hand corner, do you remember what we put? Hopefully you're thinking 100. And above it goes our percent. 65% of our students are girls. And remember, 65 out of 100, in fact, any number out of 100 is a percent. So there's our 65%. Now we need our part and our whole. So the fact that there are 1,500 students in the whole school leads me to believe that our whole is 1,500 students. Oh, I'm not going to be able to fit that in here. Okay. It's going to spill out a little bit, 1,500. And then I think we're looking for the part. How many of those 1,500 students are girls? Or how many girls are there out of 1,500 students? The girls become the part out of the whole. And here comes cross multiplication. 100 times x. Remember, you always do your letter first. Is 100 times x. And we set that equal to 65 times 1,500. Now I did grab my calculator here, and you should too, because these numbers, even though I know you could do it, it's getting a little bit big. So I'm going to take 1,500 times 65. And that looks to be 97,500. 97,500. And then to solve for x, we do the opposite operation that is currently being done unto it, which is multiplication. So we will divide by 100 here, and we will divide by 100 there. These will cancel out to 1, leaving us with x equals. Now, to divide by 100, of course, the shortcut is to take the decimal, which is back here right now, and scoot it 2 places to the left, which would make 975. You could also take the number on your calculator right now and just simply hit divided by 100, and that will also give you 975. So our answer is that there are 975 girls out of those 1,500 students. And that represents 65%. Cool. Let's go try another one. Another one is also in your packet. Let's find what I marked here. Okay, here's one. Oh, it bled through a little bit. That's not the greatest, but we'll deal with it. Okay, so this one says, Leonardo works as a server in a restaurant. Okay. He gets a 20% tip on the food cost for every order. And I know when I go to restaurants, if I have good service, I like to tip 20%. This is very reasonable. Okay. So yeah, when you get your bill, whatever the food and drink costs, you typically tip 20% to your server. So what's that going to look like? Well, the question here says, what tip will he get if the food costs $60? Okay, so again, let's set up our boxes. 4 boxes here. And we know what goes in that lower right-hand corner is 100. And we do have the percent. We're going to tip 20%, so that'll go above the 100. And now we have to ask ourselves, will the tip be the part or the whole? And is $60, which is the food cost or the bill, is that the part or the whole? Well, I hope you're thinking that $60 is the whole, like that's the whole bill. The server is going to get a part of that, and that part is 20% of it. So we'll put that X up top as the tip. Now we're ready to cross multiply. So I'm going to bring this over here. So 100 times X is that very thing. 100 times X equals. Now we'll take 60 times 20. Probably know that in your head, but you can also grab your calculator, clear that off. Take 60 times 20, which is 1,200. 1,200. Then we'll divide by 100 on both sides here to clear this away. X equals, and if you take 1,200 divided by 100 and scoot that decimal 2 to the left, that server is going to get a $12 tip. So I'll write that probably here, $12 tip. That's 20% of $60. Awesome. Let's go to our next one. By the way, did I say I picked out 5? I picked out 5 different percent problems for us to try. Okay, the next one I have is right here. Right here, number 13. This one says, there are 300 pages in a book. Tay is 80% finished. How many pages has she read? Okay, you see that percentage, so immediately you're drawing those boxes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 100 always down. Do we have the percentage? I think we do. Tay is 80% finished. Now, do we have the part or the whole? There are 300 pages in a book. Well, that's definitely the whole. She's 80% of the way through. So we want to know, what part has she read? That's what we're looking for. Remember, X is what we're looking for. It's a letter of the alphabet holding the place for a number until we find it. Let's cross multiply. 100 times X is 100 times X equals 300 times 80. Ooh, that's going to get big. Let's see here. 300 times 80 is 24,000. 24,000. And then we'll divide by 100. Divide by 100. Cross, cross. X equals 24,000 divided by 100, 240. So that means Tay has read 240 pages out of the 300 pages. That's 80% of the way through. So hopefully these are really starting to catch on and make sense. I have two more, and we'll be done. Okay, here's one. I'm gonna do this one right here. Cover up part B here. Okay, this says Danielle is planning a party and trying to decide how many people to invite. She expects that 90% of the people she invites will attend. If she invites 20 people, how many does she expect will attend? Okay, 4 boxes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 100. And I do believe we were given the percentage as 90. Now we just have to figure out part and whole. Okay, so she's having this party. She thinks 90% are going to attend. She invites 20 people. That is the whole. How many of those 20, what part of the 20 will she expect to attend? So 90%, 90% out of 20 people. How many is that? That's your part. And off we go. 100 times X. And 90 times 20. 1,800. And we're going to divide by 100. Getting so used to this by now. And when you divide 1,800 by 100, you scoot, 18 people. So, 18 people she's expecting to come to her party out of the 20 she invited, and that's because she expects 90% to come. By the way, if you get an 18 out of 20 on a quiz or a test, that is 90%. Very good. Okay, and the last one we're going to do for this video is, or was that the last one? No. Thought I had one more marked. I swear I had one more marked. Bear with me, bear with me. 1 is there. 2, 3, 4. Ah, there it is. I knew there was one more. I was skipping a page. Okay, here is our last one. Right here. I wanted to do at least one where you were actually finding everything we've done so far. We've been given the percent. Now I want to do one where we find the percent. Okay, so this one says, a 6th grade class did a weekend fitness challenge. Each student set a goal of, I couldn't see that. Each student set a goal of 75 minutes of fitness, okay? So every 6th grader was going to go home, and every 6th grader was going to try to do 75 minutes of fitness. Luca ended up exercising for 54 minutes. What percent of the goal did he achieve? So you still set up your 4 boxes. And you can probably tell from a mile away what's going to happen here. We know this is 100. We don't know the percent. What percent? We're looking for the percent. So now the X goes here where the percent normally goes. Now, the whole was that he was supposed to exercise 75 minutes. The part is that he exercised 54 minutes. So we're looking for what percent out of 75 minutes is 54 minutes. So we're going to cross. So this time, 75 times X, always on the diagonal, equals 54 times 100, which is just 5,400. And this time, to get X alone, we're going to divide by 75. Cross, cross. And so 5,400, 5,400 divided by 75, 72. 72. So Luca achieved 72% of the goal. He didn't make it all the way, but he's over half. He's definitely over half. He's at 72% of the goal that was made by the 6th graders. Okay, so that's a wrap on percents. I hope they're making sense. They're super easy if you just remember these 4 little compartments, a little cross multiplication, and you're going to be there. So good luck with your practice and happy trails to you.